If we make it to kickoff in 192 days and the odds do not change on who the betting favorite for the Heisman Trophy is, it'll be the first time ever that a Notre Dame Fighting Irish quarterback is the preseason favorite to win the Heisman Trophy.
Ever?
Ever. Now, that only goes back to when they started doing this. I don't know what year that was. Probably late in the process. Back in the 60s, I'm sure Notre Dame quarterbacks were always up there.
Yeah, in the forward pass era, when we weren't running the Notre Dame box or some old, outdated offense, who's the best Notre Dame quarterback? Is it Brady Quinn?
I was going to say that for sure. We identified this early. It was after the Miami game. It was the first game of the year. Like, Marcus Freeman is in the best quarterback situation. Riley Leonard started multiple games in the NFL this year for the Colts.
So would you say Riley Leonard over Brady Quinn?
No.
And just in the forward pass era, is Brady Quinn the best quarterback?
I would say Brady Quinn. Tony Rice was really good.
Yeah, they ran the option, but
Tony
I mean,
Rice,
that was a national championship
but
team. But
CJ Carr is going to, now a redshirt sophomore, is going to be really, really good. I don't think he's going to hold as your Heisman favorite. Arch Manning will end up being your Heisman favorite.
So close right now, plus 700 for Carr, plus 800 for Arch.
And you know what that also reflects? I don't know if you guys have seen it. I've never seen this. There are 4 teams currently that have the exact same 7-1 odds to win the national championship.
Ooh, I like
Notre
it.
Dame, Texas, Ohio State,
Georgia,
Indiana.
I keep forgetting Indiana's a football power now.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
those are your 4.
But
I mean, that's crazy that you have 4. That shows you, as much as you might hate the NIL and the transfer portal, have you guys ever seen going into a season where you've got 4 teams, and right behind that, you've got to have the Georgias of the world. So they're not going to be far off.
Yeah, the only reason I bring up Brady Quinn, that way, is to point out that as great as the history is of Notre Dame quarterback, in the modern era, they really haven't had, like, dynamic quarterback play. I mean, we love Joe Theismann. Joe's nice. He comes on this show. He's a nice guy. He played in the NFL. He was a good college quarterback. I mean, that's a long time ago, though. I mean, really, when you start listing off...
Oh, Montana was kind of a game manager back then, too.
It was a different world of football back then. But when you start listing off modern-day Notre Dame quarterbacks, it's not a real dazzling list. As great as their history is, they've never just really had this amazing signal caller. I mean, Brady Quinn was really, really good, obviously. Was he second or third in the Heisman voting, I think, that year? Behind Reggie
definitely
Bush?
A finalist.
Yeah.
You know, even the numbers don't really pop for C.J. Carr. Just watching him eye test, though, really, really good quarterback. I mean, last year threw for 2,700 yards, which is very middle of the pack. 66% completion percentage, pretty good. 24 touchdowns on the low end, only 6 interceptions. But, you know, the numbers they're not.
Now take away Jeremiah Love and tell me what you got to do.
Oh, well. I mean, him and
I don't want to go Jay
Price.
Coker, but if I could turn around and hand it to Jeremiah Love, I look a lot better.
Well, you think about, I mean, they had over 300 carries between Price and Love last year. So, yeah, I mean, you really didn't have to overthink it if you were Notre Dame.
Yeah. By the way, Heisman favorite's not where you want to be if your goal is to win the Heisman. I mean, how often does the preseason Heisman favorite actually win the Heisman?
I think it was the Oregon quarterback, the only one I can remember since we've been doing the show that was the
Joey,
kickoff.
Joey Harrington?
No.
Wait, who did you say it was?
Oh, Marcus Mariota.
Mariota.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was Mariota from start to finish, from day one. And I think it wavered throughout the process, but day one to winning it.
Yeah, I think that might be right. I can't think of another one.
Who was the preseason Heisman? Preseason favorite last year going into the season. Was it Arch?
Yeah, I think it was Arch.
Yeah, that didn't start well.
No.
After those two, CJ and Arch, Oregon's Dante Moore 11-1, Ohio State quarterback Julian Sayin 12-1, Indiana quarterback Josh Hoover 12-1, Jeremiah Smith, wide receiver Ohio State 14-1. Last Notre Dame Heisman Trophy winner.
Last Notre was Rocket, right? Rocket Ismail.
Has it been that long?
I got Tim Brown, 1987.
Oh, so then Rocket didn't win it.
Yeah. No Notre Dame players won the Heisman Trophy since wide receiver Tim Brown, 1987, according to Yahoo Sports.
You know, I just randomly came across, I told Dunaway, there's this TikTok account that does classic bowl games. And it's actually pretty fun to watch because they do the intro and you see how big we used to build up bowl games. Like the Notre Dame Fighting Irish tonight, but it was Notre Dame, West Virginia in the national championship game. And that video, that's their last national championship, by the way, for those that aren't keeping score, in the Fiesta Bowl.
NBC game, right?
NBC game, and that video looks so old.
Yeah.
It looks so old.
First of all, it's not not HD. It's not the wide screen. It's the cutoff screen.
Yeah, and it's just different. It's different football. I mean, it doesn't even look like the game we're playing today. The game that they're playing, guys in big neck rolls, huge shoulder pads. I mean,
a lot of running between the tackles.
Yeah, I mean, Notre Dame was running the option. It was Tony Rice running the option under Lou Holtz.
Boy, they are going to be good next year, though. And play with a chip on their shoulder, not getting to a college football playoff. Same with Texas this year.
I would agree. The 24-team playoff that's been floated around now by the Big Ten and a leaked bracket, color-coded bracket that was part of the memo that got leaked from the Big Ten that they were passing around to the other conferences when they got together at the meetings at the college football playoffs is a lot of buzz. Do I understand this right? No auto bids? Is that the last thing that is 23 top 23 teams plus one?
Yeah, I think they realize you don't really have to have auto bids if you're going to have the top 24 teams, so you don't really have to spell it out that way that I get an auto bid. If you got the top 24, all four, I should.
An 8-4 champions in.
Yeah. Would Duke have been in this year?
Oh, yeah.
So I think they realize we don't have to spell it out that way because we got 24 teams in there.
It sounds crazy. I think Virginia might have been in, losing the game.
Yeah. Here's the look of who would have made it.
All right, well, we'll see here.
This past year. And you can see it all color-coded out. First two rounds on campus starting now.
Please.
Yeah, this is where it gets tricky. I think the design here for some people is to start this Thanksgiving weekend. And
so what does that do to rivalry weekend?
I don't like that.
And move rivalry weekend up to the week before that, and the season starting week 0.
There's something, and look, I mean, everybody has their sacred cows, right, in college football. So I guess I can't.
Mine is 3 games on January 1st.
Yeah, I'm with you. I want as much football as I can get. There is just something that feels right about rivalry weekend being on Thanksgiving. Am I wrong about that?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And I think we're all in agreement, especially if we go to this number. Conference championship games are completely dead.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Just start it the week after Thanksgiving.
Well, so I assume, Jim, you started on rivalry or Thanksgiving weekend to get it done on January 1. Is that my assumption here?
Some people are trying to get it done January 1. I think their last proposal was to end it on January the 15th, by January the 15th.
So if we're going to start on Thanksgiving and play till January 15th, we are spreading the heck out of this
thing. That's the NBA playoffs.
What are we doing?
I mean, it really is. Yeah. So, let's use common sense here. Let's keep rivalry weekend on Thanksgiving.
That's right.
Let's blow out conference championships, start it there, and go into the first or second week of January. Pretty simple.
Yeah. I don't hate this. To answer your question, first of all, Lance, Duke actually is not in this, but there are 3 ACC teams, Virginia, Georgia Tech, and Miami. So you could easily make that adjustment in the rankings to get Duke in there if you wanted to.
I mean, there's no way you're going to put Virginia or Georgia Tech in front of Duke after they won the championship. Yeah. But at this point, they wouldn't have been a championship.
Right. They were just going by the rankings. So to your point, and this is another reason, Dunaway, to Lance's point, that they don't put champions in here. We don't have a league championship game anymore.
That's right.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, you get some pretty good matchups. USC Arizona would have been a fun game. BYU Houston would have been a fun game.
Alabama would have been the one hosting James Madison this past year.
Not a fun game, but you get another home game for an Alabama fan. Same thing with Texas Tulane. Probably a blowout, but you get another home game in Austin.
Yeah, the bottom line is we get bowl games that don't have any substance to it. Every one of these games matters.
Virginia was in. They would have played at Vanderbilt, who would have been in.
Great game, by the way. Fantastic game, Virginia at Vanderbilt. Yeah. Georgia Tech at Notre Dame would have been a fun game. Iowa at Miami. We didn't see this with Miami go. I think Iowa at Miami, a lot of people would say, boy, Miami could be in trouble right there.
Oh, with that Iowa defense, absolutely.
Yeah. If you go back to pre-college football playoff, what you thought of Miami, you'd be like, ooh, Iowa, that's a tricky matchup for Miami.
And Notre Dame at Ole Miss in round 2 would have been a tricky game.
Oh, sure.
For Ole Miss.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, Ole Miss got Tulane to start with. You're trading Tulane for Notre Dame.
Yeah, where do they have Texas seeded out?
They've got them at 13. They would play Texas Tech. What a tremendous game that would be in Lubbock.
Yeah, they beat Texas Tech.
Yeah, if they had survived Tulane, they would have been in Lubbock, Texas Tech. I mean, just those type
fun
matchups,
man. Yeah,
and getting rid of the auto bids, which I think you guys all agree that 4 Big 12, 4 ACC auto bids, the way that it was originally proposed by the Big Ten, seemed to be too much for those leagues.
Yeah, I don't think you should have the auto bids.
Yeah, so this
But if you're trying to force a 7-5 from one of those conferences in, that's going
right.
back to basically giving a Group 5 an opportunity in a current 12 team.
I didn't pick this up at first, but the way you worded this is bait in the water for the SEC, and I just noticed why you said that. I think I noticed why you said that.
Well, the SEC wanted 5 autos and 11 at large on their 16.
Right.
And if you take out the automatic bids, this is just however many SEC teams are in the top 23.
And if Scott will throw it back up there, what jumps out at me is right there at the bottom in the small print, where the Big Ten is not necessarily – they're not circulating this. This was kind of leaked out, right?
Yeah.
But this is okay.
Yeah, it was
Quote,
leaked
unquote.
out.
But so the Big Ten is going to circulate a plan, Lance, that's going to give the SEC more teams than anybody in this. The SEC's got 7, the Big Ten's got 6.
I mean, we're not the Big Ten.
Right.
We kept something under wraps for a long, long time. Right?
Who, us as a show?
Yeah, us as a group.
Oh, yeah.
And we talk for a living, and we did a pretty good job keeping that under wraps.
That was a surprise to a lot of people.
I'm sure the Big Ten let this leak out.
I mean, so for the Big Ten,
it's an intentional leak.
Yeah, for the Big Ten to circulate something that actually gives the SEC 7 bids and the Big Ten 6. They're not circulating something where they've got 8 bids and the SEC's got 6.
But I think this goes back to a lot of people saying the depth of the conference is a little different. When you look at the top of the Big Ten right now, for the last 3 years, yes, it has been the elite conference. But if you look at 1 through 16 or 1 through 18 for them, the depth lies in the SEC, and that's an example right there.
Okay, now remember when I asked you about the FCS earlier and the people like North Dakota State and Sacramento State paying millions of dollars to lead to join bottom group of 6 conferences? This is basically just they've got auto bids in the FCS, but the 2014 playoff already exists in the FCS. What does this do to the regular season? Like if I just got to be in – I think this is the reason why, my belief anyway, I should stop saying I think. My belief is that the SEC wanted to stop at 16 for a second to see how it impacts the regular season and any collateral damage that we may not think of before moving to 24. I don't think anybody in the SEC office is necessarily against the number 24. They just wanted to go from 12 to 16 first, and let's see what the world looks like at 16 before we move to 24. I think that was the reason why the SEC was in love with the number 16. Not that they were afraid of 24. As you can see here, it benefits them.
That, and I think they also think 16 might save the conference championship game. I think the SEC would like to keep that alive.
$200 million of revenue for the 4 major conferences, their conference championship games. So that needs to be replaced.
That's not nothing.
Yeah, I don't think it affects the regular season as far as like the quality of the regular season. You look at the NFL right now, roughly 40% make the postseason, and the NFL regular season is absolutely fantastic. And now,
so once I get to 9-0, if I'm Alabama, if I'm Georgia, once I'm 9-0,
still playing for seeding though.
I can go with a 3-game losing streak and still be in the playoffs.
Yeah,
but
you know you're
about
in.
seeding now.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, I do think
you don't want. It's not ideal, but yeah, I mean, you would at that point. I mean, at 9-3, and the SEC would be deserving.
Yeah, I mean, there's still only 16 additional home games, and you still only get one of those. Like you're only going to get one additional home game because you're either going to get it in the first round or the second round because you're going to get a bye. So I do think there's value to that additional home game. I'm with Lance on that.
I would like to, if we did this, eliminate. I would like to eliminate Power 4 teams playing anybody from the FCS first.
Who's left in the FCS?
I'd almost want to eliminate playing anybody from the group of 6. I feel like if you're the Power 4, you should be only playing Power 4 teams if we're going to do this kind of a playoff model.
We're going the other way on that.
We are going the other way on that.
Yeah. I kind of agree with you. I mean, I've said for quite a while that I think we're hurtling towards a split of the group of 6 and the Power 4 plus Notre Dame, that there'll be one day where those will be 2 completely different divisions. And maybe they still play one another some, but they're playing for different championships. And I think if you do that, it will make it easier to make that a rule.
Yeah, well, look, I think when we went to 12, we said there's going to be a day where a 3-loss team gets in. Now, that hadn't happened yet, but it's
technically Alabama was a 3-loss team.
Well, because of the conference championship.
Because of the conference championship.
That's true. Yeah.
But now I think to your point on, just scheduling maybe Power 4 games, you'll be able to absorb a fourth loss. I think there will be some 8-4s that get in the 2014 playoff.
Yeah.
I mean, there probably was an example of one last year. Was there a 4-loss in that?
Oh, I bet there was.
Sure.
Yeah.
Didn't Georgia Tech end up with 4 losses?
Pull
right?
it again. Well, I mean, it's hard to see with the bowls.
What was Iowa?
Iowa was 4, and that was regular season, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Iowa was 4 in the regular season.
Yeah, but, I mean, the playoff has given us more I understand what everybody says, like, you can lose 2 games now. But I always go back to those games that you watched that have playoff implications that had no implications whatsoever other than another loss or another win for that team. An example I've used often is the Florida-Ole Miss game 2 years ago. Ole Miss goes to Florida. All they got to do is beat the Gators in Gainesville, and they make the college football playoff, assuming they also win the Egg Bowl. And Florida pulls an upset. Saves Billy Napier's job, pulling the upset in the process. That game didn't have meaning before. That was just a regular season upset that saved Billy Napier's job. Now it was a regular season upset that we were all invested in because it was knocking Ole Miss out of the college football playoffs. I mean, it had much more meaning then.
Interesting. We'll circle back to this a couple of times throughout the offseason, but love that floating out there. And we still need a committee. Somebody's got to rank this. I don't think we'd let the media rank it, the AP poll, but
I mean, would you guys be okay with going back to BCS?
Yes,
computer?
absolutely. Nothing's really changed.
I mean, because it's so deep at that.
And we're only deciding 23 spots plus a Group 5. At some point, probably just 24 spots.
Yeah.
I mean, if the argument's at 24 and 25, you've lost me.
I think that's the easy way to do it.
Yeah, the argument would be 23 and 24.
23. The argument would really be like, how are we seated this low? We should be an 8. We're at 12, and now we got to go on the road in the second round.